you already have the problem that you want to solve and a solution concept, no, that you want to build, no, as a startup idea. The next thing that you have to do is we are going to design your business model at a very high level concept. It means to say that we have to decide our business model using and articulating the top three essential items, no, in your business model. So first is we need to articulate, clearly articulate to what are we going to offer to our target customers. So our offering, this represents the product or service that you are selling. And then to whom do you offer this product or service? So that is what we call your target customers. And lastly, how will your customer know, your target customer will pay you in return because you are offering or you are selling a certain product or service. So we are going to decide, no, we are going to decide what will be our offering, what will be our, who will be our target customers, and how these target customers will pay us, no, in return for the product or service. So the diagram, the tool that we have to use to design your business model at a high level concept, this is what we call the value proposition diagram. So there is a worksheet in your team workbook that that basically allows you to design your business model at a high level concept. So this is the template looks like. So basically what you need to do is you have okay, so you have you as that's your startup company. What are you selling to your customer, your target customer? So you're selling a certain product. It can be a product or it can be a service. And in return, what your customer will basically pay you, no? So how will they pay you in return of the product or service that you're offering to them? So this diagram, this value proposition diagram, is applicable for a one-sided market na startup, meaning a startup, if you are a startup company or a team that basically targets one type of market segment or customer segment, then this diagram is applicable for you. Another type of another variation of a value proposition diagram is applicable for startups that offer or that are targeting two different customer segments, no? So these are what we call two-sided this is what we call the two-sided market approach. So for example, you as a startup company, what do you offer to a certain, let's say, customer segment A? That's the product or service that you're selling, and in return, this customer segment A will pay you, no? So what will be the revenue model? So that's it. And then on the other side, for a while, okay, this one, on the other side of the market, no? So of the diagram, basically, you as a startup company, what do you offer in terms of product or service? That's what you are selling, and in return, what your customers pay you, no? So that's the idea. Now to basically give you a more detailed idea or an example for this, so we'll start with a one-sided market na startup company. So What's Smart, it has been introduced to you. I think it has as one of the examples in the previous sessions that we have. So it's an energy management company that offers energy management solution to small and medium enterprises. So meaning they have one target market or one target customer segment, and these are SMEs. So they offer a software that does analytics, that basically forecasts and basically tracks no consumption history of the electricity, but their intended customer segments are SMEs. So they're selling energy management software as a solution, and in return, these SMEs will have to pay a monthly subscription fee to What's Smart. So this is a value proposition diagram that articulates the business model of a certain startup company at a high level concept. Now, let's look into two-sided approach ng mga startups. So let's start. We have here Alelo. So Alelo is a company that sells battery operation software solution to energy utilities with battery systems. So this is also another example of targeting one type of customer segment, and then these are energy utilities and offering a certain solution, okay, in a form of battery operation software. And in return, these energy utility companies will have to pay for a subscription fee and a payment for every report generated by that software solution. No, so they have to pay to Alelo for a subscription fee and and at the same time pay a fee for every report generated. So this is an example of a startup that targets one specific customer segment, offers a specific solution to that customer segment, but it's using different revenue streams or different revenue models. So one, it's a customer can pay via subscription fee to the company Alelo, or it can be a customer may pay for every report that is generated by the software solution offered by Alelo. So one customer segment, but it basically they created a business model in terms of multiple revenue streams. No, so this is also one example of a business model design at a high level concept. Another one here, still one-sided market, is that we have Shiftech Marine. So this is one of the examples last time in our master class. And this company produces portable solar power bank, and they sell this device to fishermen. So in return, the fisherman will have to pay for that device. So that means the revenue model for that company is the product cost, no, or the revenue from for every device sold. So that's the idea. And then this is an example of a two-sided market na startup. So Flux is a company that targets two different customer segments. So we have farms, and of course we have the transportation companies, the electric cooperatives, and retail energy suppliers. No, so that means to say, what are they doing is that they offer basically they offer waste management solution to farms. So that's what they offer, and in return, these farms will have to provide waste that this waste will be used to convert electricity from the biogas, no, from the biogas, and then that means that electricity from that biogas, of course, taken from the waste produced by the farms, will have to be sold to these transportation companies, electric cooperatives, and in return, these transportation companies, electric cooperatives, etc., they have to pay for the electricity cost. So this is an example of a startup that targets two different customer segments. They offer different solutions to each type. So they have a different solution offered to ECs. They have also a different solution offered to farms, and they also have different revenue model from each type of the market. So that's one example. And then so that's the idea. Now, another way for us to basically articulate our startup idea, the business model of our startup, is through what we call in terms of a high level concept pitch, we call it what for who. So what for who is a memorable one sentence on what you do for customers. So what you do, so that's what, and then what basically you do, and then for who, that those are your target customers. So an example here is Solarium provides, so what they do is they provide solar panels for what target customers. So for who, so these are schools and churches. So what smart provides energy management solution for SMEs. So let's say Alelo provides battery software solutions for that what we call energy utility companies. So that is what for who. So I hope that is clear on how you can create a business model design at a high level. So we'll start with a high level, designing your business model at a high level and creating a one sentence speech with the use of what for who at a high level concept. So what are we going to do now is to come up with our first activity. So we will have an activity number 1, and we will use 2 different worksheets. One is the value proposition diagram and what for who. So we'll do this in 20 minutes. And how do we do this? So for the first part of the activity, the value proposition diagram, go to your tab number 4, value proposition diagram, and then design a business model for your startup. If you are a team or if you are a startup company na one type of customer segment yung tina-target mo, so you can just use the one-sided market na template. Otherwise, you use the two-sided market because there are teams here that I've seen na it's a two-sided na approach, no, so that they have to use, no. You can fill that out, the that particular template, and then there's a prompt or there's a hint question that you want, that you have that's being provided there, so you just have to um, fill in your answers, no, we based on the given prompt or hint. And then the second part is to go still the same, no, on tab 4, what for who no worksheet. I want you to brainstorm 5 different what for who statements for your startup, and then choose a favorite by changing the color of the cells, because we can actually generate as many what for who statements as we can for our startup. But then from the 5 that you have generated, just choose one. You can do a votation within your team. Do it, no? So basta just choose one and change that color of the cell of the chosen, no, what for who statement.